Welcome to Total Network Inventory Tutorials and Examples. In this video, we will show how to build and work with the changelog. This mode is intended to display all the changes that have occurred on the devices during the selected period between scans. In other words, if you scan the required device several times and something changes between scans, the changelog will indicate these changes. The module window contains the following elements. Main area – it displays data on changes. Device bar that contains snapshot intervals and event type indicator. Toolbar. And a sidebar containing a list of categories by selecting which you can build changelog reports. Let's now take a closer look at the changelog and its features. To create a report on changes, on the sidebar you can select one, multiple, or the entire group of categories to choose from. But if you build a report on all changes, then the next time you switch and select between categories, all changes will be displayed on the fly. In this case, you don't need to build a report from the very beginning, which can be useful when there's a large amount of data. You can also use a Hide Data button if only one type of the data needs to be displayed. When you click on it, the indication of all previously selected categories will be disabled, and the program will build a report on changes only for the selected group. As we can see, all change formation is performed between specific snapshots. Snapshots are the results of a device scanning at a certain point in time. With these fragments, you can find out about any changes that have occurred in the nodes between the given time intervals. If there are two or more snapshots, the changelog data can be compared by the date range, the depth of the snapshots. If the infinite display of the snapshot's depth is selected in this mode, you can quickly see all the changes in all the fragments made, or the range between certain snapshots, selecting the necessary elements for comparison. Normally, TNI performs a comparison between each available snapshot, showing the changes between them. In this mode, the data construction is performed between fragments, and all snapshots are displayed by the time they were taken. However, you may need to display change results only between the first and last snapshots. For example, you want to see changes on the device between the very first scan and the last one. In this case, you can use a Hide Intermediate Results button. By selecting this option, TNI will generate a report that will compare data only for the first and last snapshots, according to the specified history depth. Data on changes in all other intermediate fragments will not be displayed in the report. Let's now take a closer look at the information provided by snapshots. Here we can see that all changes on devices represented as events. This data is divided into groups and by object types. As we can see, icons represent all changes in the groups, and each group of icons has its own type and purpose. For example, adding new hardware, removing, or changing specifications. At the top of the device panel, as well as above each group of objects, there are indicators of event types. They're used as a secondary visual display of all changes, allowing you to quickly assess the total number and type of events that have occurred. All generated change reports can not only be viewed in the main program window, but also exported to the most popular formats or sent to print using the appropriate options on the toolbar. Let's look at an example where creating change reports can help with finding the required information. By selecting the required category and using the search field, we can see in what period of time the desired program was installed in the device, and we can also notice that in the future, the version of this software hasn't been changed. Using the Total Network Inventory Scheduler, you can set up and automatically generated changelog reports. Take advantage of this functionality by selecting categories for changes and device groups as you need. All configured schedule reports can be exported and saved in the required directories on a computer, a public server, or sent by email. If you would like to learn more about creating and customizing changelog reports, you can always refer to our online documentation. Thanks for watching.